Welcome to Lesson 6 in Unit 1, Life in the Rainforest. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how can we convince people to save the rainforest? In this lesson, students develop models of the rainforest to communicate to others about the importance of saving the rainforest. Students figure out that by reducing, reusing, and recycling paper products, they can help save the rainforest. Students make connections to the storyline by helping communicate the importance of protecting the rainforest. There are several opportunities for ELA and social studies cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 1 teacher guide. This lesson will take approximately 4 to 5 days to complete. To begin the Lesson 6 Engage, you'll ask students about the problem they've been discussing and some ways they could help solve the problem. You'll allow students to turn and talk to share their ideas. You'll revisit the driving question board and add any new questions and highlight any others connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about protecting the trees or saving the rainforest. For the Explore portion, you'll read The Great Kapok Tree. Be sure to use the Read Aloud guide for discussion questions and key points. You'll then show students images of models made from recyclables and tell students that the artists use trash you might find in the ocean to make art to tell people about the importance of protecting the ocean. You'll tell them we are going to use recycled paper and other things that come from trees to make models of rainforest animals to help them share with people about the importance of protecting the rainforest. You can post and discuss the Recycle vocabulary card. You'll set up the Rainforest Models project. You'll arrange students into groups and provide them with materials to design and build their rainforest model. Be sure to see the tutorial slides for examples of things they can make. We also encourage you to bring in extra recyclable materials to allow students to get creative. After students have completed their models, you'll have them use the peer feedback table tent to identify one thing they like, one question they have, and one suggestion they have about classmates' models. For the Explain portion, you'll have student groups display their rainforest models in the room. You can invite other students and staff at your school to come visit your class's rainforest exhibits. For the Elaborate portion, you'll invite students to gather to share their findings from their rainforest model building. You'll use the provided questions to guide your discussion around the question, how can we convince people to save the rainforest? The goal of this class discussion is to review why we want to save the rainforest and how we can protect it. For the Evaluate portion, you'll evaluate students according to the Rainforest Model rubric and invite teams to gather in a circle to review what they've learned about the problem. The goal of this class discussion is for teams to revisit the learning throughout the unit and to wrap up the unit. To support student sense-making across the unit, you'll orient them back to the driving question board. You'll ask students, what do we know now about how we can protect the trees and the rainforest? And do we have any unanswered questions? If yes, how do you think we should answer them? You can have students use the self-check form to evaluate their own learning in this section. This is an instructional tool that can be used as a metacognitive practice for students to reflect on their learning, express their engagement and excitement levels for the topics they have learned so far. This tool will also allow students to reflect on their science identities and community. By the end of this lesson, students will have designed a model to communicate a solution to protecting the rainforest. For the optional extend, students can write a letter to Zonia telling her what they have figured out and what they will do to help save the trees and the rainforest. You can complete this as a shared writing experience with your class and then have students write their own short letter to Zonia. For more information about this unit, visit myscipartners.com.